how much is up for debate as Americans argue about when's the right time to reopen the economy. President Trump said over 4.18 million Americans have been tested now for the respiratory illness. The thing is, that's the number according to official counts. It's more like 3.9 million. Either way, testing strategies will be a big topic of conversation at a task force phone call with governors coming up later today. The president saying that some governors aren't utilizing the full testing capacity since many are relying on state labs instead of private labs. So this is very confusing. Also charges that while governors say reopening is their call, not his, they seem to be, quote, blaming his administration when things aren't exactly what they want. And some, like Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan, they're pushing back. He did so in CNN's State of the Union to try to push this off and say the governors have plenty of testing. He noted, he went on to say, that they just get to work on testing, and that somehow we're not doing the job, which is absolutely false. The words of Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan. President Trump said Democratic senators were rude and they were nasty during a conference call with Vice President Mike Pence on Friday. Trump said most of the 47 Democrats in the Senate were on that call for a briefing on the COVID-19 situation. According to various reports, senators were frustrated with the lack of progress on testing for the virus. So where do we stand right now? At last check, there are more than 759,000 cases across the United States, with just over 40,000 patients succumbing to the illness, although more than 70,000 have recovered. Now globally, the numbers stand at just over 2.4 million people infected by the virus, with more than 165,000 dead. On the plus side, more than 625,000 have recovered. Congress and the president, the Trump administration, nearing a more than $400 billion deal on emergency funding for small businesses hit awfully hard with this coronavirus pandemic. Fox's John Decker has more from the White House.
Steve Mnuchin, who's leading the negotiations for the administration, said that as part of the deal, there would be $300 billion for the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program and $50 billion for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. And the president said Sunday there would also be significant funding for state and local hospitals.
We're also looking at helping our hospitals and our rural hospitals who have been hurt very badly. The rural hospitals for a long time have not been treated properly. We're looking to help them.
Word of the impending deal came after Congress allowed the Small Business Rescue Fund it set up to exhaust its $350 billion funding capacity last Thursday. At the White House, John Decker, Fox News.
It's 5:19 now. At least 7,000 people. That equates to 20% of U.S. deaths from the coronavirus were associated with nursing homes. That's according to the New York Times, and experts believe the total is likely higher than that. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they reported that at least 400 of the long-term care facilities across the United States have coronavirus infections. And as we know, it's hitting Rhode Island's nursing homes pretty hard. NBC reports estimates it's almost 2,500 of them. While the New York Times says it's at least 4,100. The COVID-19 is more deadly